Jared Goff had a career-high 37 touchdowns last season, also finished second in the NFL in passing yards. RC got a chance to sit down with two key pieces on Goff's offense. Take a listen to what David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs had to say about the leader of their squad.
JG a dog. He a great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And I think for him, understand it, it's kind of like similar to me, I think. He don't get enough credit, or people don't like talk about him enough, or he not good enough. So like that fuel him so much, like to not even to prove everybody wrong, but to prove himself right. You know what I'm saying? And I see that out of him all the time. I respect him.
Yeah, JG a dog, man. Like he is everything to his team. Like without him, I don't know where would we be at. But yeah, like he was saying, like he don't get enough credit. Like they be saying like the weapons around him, like he gotta throw the ball. Like what you mean?
I love that. Not proving everybody wrong, but just proving yourself right. Canty, what did you think of that, son?
Yeah, bank full of respect for Jared Goff. He was jettisoned from the LA Rams, and they sent him to an outpost as far as the NFL is concerned in the Detroit Lions, and all he did was get that franchise turned around and get him to a Final Four. So, I mean, that's impressive to me to see what Jared Goff has been able to do, being a part of Dan Campbell, shifting the culture in Detroit and winning the division in back-to-back years, and now talking about this team as a serious title contender. That said, Jared Goff is going to have to do more this upcoming season because we are talking about Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator, moving on. We are talking about Frank Ragnow retiring and Tate Ratledge stepping in and being the center. Ragnow was a huge presence in that Lions locker room, so Jared Goff on the field and in the locker room is absolutely going to have to do more if the Detroit Lions are going to realize their goals of being able to hold up a Lombardi trophy.
I'll come to you here, Kimberly. Obviously.
I'm sorry,
Oh, go ahead, Mina. You're good. Go ahead. React to it.
Oh, no. Sorry, I'm still laughing at Chris saying that Jared Goff was sent to an outpost like the Lions, like he was sent to the Great Wall in the north and banished from the kingdom. Yeah, otherwise, though, Chris, I'm really in agreement with you about there being pressure on Goff this season. And I want to start by saying Jared Goff, to me, has improved so much as a quarterback over the years. He does things now in this league in terms of making throws under pressure, stepping up in the pocket, that I really don't believe he was capable of early. Even when the Rams offense was as successful as it was, he was a lesser quarterback on the team that went to the Super Bowl than he is now. Quarterback development is not always linear. This is a topic we talk about a lot. Obviously, it's come up with Anthony Richardson. Sometimes players do get better over time. All of that said, Chris is absolutely right. There's a ton of pressure on him because the expectations for this team are so great. They are perceived to be the favorite in the division. And he did lose the offensive coordinator. The interior of the offensive line is in flux. I think that is what concerns me the most, maybe even as much as the coordinator, just because Jared, as much as he has gotten better at throwing under pressure, it is still not a strength of his. This offensive line has been the rock on this team, and it's being shaken a little bit. But, I just think he's improved so much that I have confidence in his ability to continue leading this offense well.
I want to stay with that subject of pressure. And Kimberly, obviously, you alluded to it, Canty. A lot was made about Goff losing his OC and Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams obviously has a new head coach. So which quarterback do you think has more pressure? Is it Goff or is it Caleb Williams?
The answer is Caleb Williams. But I agree that the pressure's ratcheted up this year on Jared Goff, even though they knew that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson were going to get head coaching jobs. It's been since June that Ragnow retired. So they knew that things were coming down the pike, and they've sort of prepared for it. They had over 20 guys on injured reserve last year. They're getting all those guys back. But when I think about as much as Jared Goff has to do more, especially a team that, again, this should be a Super Bowl contending team, so you expect him to play well. He's got to elevate his play. Ben Johnson is the reason the pressure, to me, is bigger for Caleb Williams, because Ben Johnson was the head coach that could not miss. Ben Johnson was the guy who everybody wanted, and he said, I want to go to Chicago because this guy here, I can build a quarterback that could be one of the best in the NFL. I think with Caleb, unfortunately, the organization that he's in, the years that they've spent trying to get the quarterback position right, the decades that Chicago hasn't gotten the quarterback position right, and the fact that he was touted top pick. Everybody's looking at him like, oh, this guy is special. And what we saw in the first year was he's struggling to do the just basics. And now he has actual legit coaching where we are stripping you down to the studs and we're going to build you back up. Ben Johnson is a guy who is all about detail, and you need to do the basics right so then we can add on to that. So I think everything, the way they've built this offense, the way they've bolstered this team, Caleb has weapons. He has the coach. If you thought coaching was the issue last year, you can't say coaching is the issue now. So I think right now it's going to be Caleb.
Mina, do you agree that it's Caleb Williams with more pressure than Jared Goff?
No, it's Goff to me. I think the idea that Caleb is under more pressure is predicated on a false premise, which is that the expectations of him have to be an immediate, massive leap. And I don't think that's right. I mean, yes, Ben Johnson, brilliant offensive play caller, love the hire for the Bears. They rebuilt the offensive line. You added players, but Colson Loveland is a rookie. The offensive line is changing completely on the inside, and Ben Johnson has never been a head coach before. So the idea that Caleb suddenly has to take this big leap at the beginning of the season, as everybody, not just him, everybody is learning an entirely new offense, I just object to that. I think the Bears offense is going to look better at the end of the year than they do at the beginning, and that's just fine. I think people need to pump the brakes on thinking that Caleb has to be so much better so quickly this year, whereas Jared Goff, those expectations are deserved and real. The Lions should win this division. There's constantly, and you heard it there with Jahmyr Gibbs, they're defensive in Detroit about their quarterback. They feel that he has been wrongly, branded as this system quarterback and a product of the play caller. Now's your chance. Prove him wrong. And so I think he is under more pressure than Caleb.
You want to break the tie?
Yeah, I'm going to break the tie. I'm going to lean toward K-Bar and say Caleb Williams is going to be under more pressure. And I think a big part of that is the perception of Caleb Williams in comparison to Jaden Daniels. Those two are inextricably linked. We saw Jaden Daniels in his rookie year take his team to the Final Four. And based on what we saw in limited preseason action against the Cincinnati Bengals, that train ain't slowing down no time soon. So Caleb Williams is out of excuses. He caped for Ben Johnson to be his head coach. You got your wish. Also, you got the team in consecutive years to use a top 10 pick on a pass catcher. They paid DJ Moore a ton of money. They rebuilt the offensive line via trades and draft picks and free agency. It's on Caleb Williams to produce. The one thing I will say, though, to Mina's point, Jared Goff has got to capitalize on this window that the Detroit Lions have, because windows don't stay open forever. They won 12 games in 2023, 15 games last year. This team is starting to get older and more expensive. Players are graduating out of the program. Players are going other places and getting their bag, or just flat out retiring. And coaches are leaving this organization and going on to other opportunities. At some point, you have to be able to capitalize on it in the foreseeable future, and he has no excuse as to why that can't be this season.
Now, Christopher's right in agreeing with me that it's Caleb, correct? But I want to go back to what Mina said, because Mina, when you said the expectations for Caleb aren't right, those lofty expectations, you are 100% right, and I 1,000% have been saying this on TV. However, those expectations, the narrative that he's in the best situation, it may not be right, but that's what is. I think the fact that last year people were looking at Chicago as Caleb Williams is entering the best situation of any rookie quarterback.